had this nickel box in my room for about a week now, and I was saving it for a 3-box nickel hunt, but I didn't get nickels from one of my other banks, so I can't do it. So I figured, you know what? Let's crack into it and see if we got any goodies. Hey everyone, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure. I've got a nickel box, like I said in the intro. Kind of excited to get into it. Feels good to just do one box every once in a while instead of doing 3. So I'm hoping to find some oldies, maybe some 30s nickels. Would love to see a Buffalo. Would love to see a V-nickel. We're not expecting any of that. Hopefully I can just find some good old ones and some in great shape. Maybe an error variety. I've got my trusty nickel mat ready to hunt with me. If you're interested in these, I have a link in the video description. You can always check out all my mats. That being said, we're not going to lollygag. We know they're circulated. I've already taken a peek. So it's time to see if we have anything good in these rolls. Roll number 3 of the box. We've already found a 54 and a 55, both Denver mint. We've got a 1946 here out of Philly. Third good nickel of the box. Roll number 5. We just added a 57D to this roll that we found. And now we've got a 1948 out of Denver as well. Roll number 6, another 40s nickel. This one's a 1949 out of San Francisco. And that is a semi-key date. We'll take it. 1949S. Roll number 9. This is going to be a good box. We've already got a handful from the 40s and a handful from the 50s. So technically 6 finds in the first 9 rolls. Well, we're going to have a 7th find right now. And take a look at that. I see a Buffalo head nickel. And it might even have a mint mark. Let me get it under the scope. And that's going to be a mint mark for sure. I think that's a D. I'm not quite sure. But it looks like it's a D. And let's see if we can get a date off this guy. Let me do a little cleaning down of it. See if I get a date before I have to use Nick-A-Date. But it is pretty worn down on the front, as you can see. And judging by how much it's worn down and the fact that it's got a Denver mint, if I can't get a date, we will definitely be Nick-A-Dating this to see if it is a semi-key or a key date coin. You can tell here a 1913D, a 1914D would be good finds. Let me go ahead and wipe it down. I'll bring it back in and we'll see what we got. All right, I've looked. It's worn slick. And that looks like a D, but it could also be an S. I'm pretty sure it's a D, but I'll be Nick-A-Dating the bottom patch there as well as the front. And we'll get an exact date and mint on this, hopefully. I'll be right back once I apply some Nick-A-Date. Well, this one gave me some fits because that 6 almost looked like a 5 at first. But you can clearly see it's a 1916. And when I did the Nick-A-Date on the back, I can't tell, guys. I really can't tell. In some lights, it's a definite D. And in others, it could be an S. Let me put it under the scope and show you what I'm looking at. So here's what it looks like under the scope. You can see how it kind of looks like it has a couple of breaks here and here, like it could be an S. But there's a lot of scratches on it, and that could also just be a D. We know without a doubt it's a mint mark. It just doesn't look like a D in certain lights, and it also doesn't look like an S. But I'm thinking if my best guess that I can tell from what I see, it's probably an S because it looks rounded up here a little bit. And if it was a D, it'd feel like it'd be a lot more harder of a corner here. So it's probably a 1916S. That's my best guess. Could also be a 1916D. The good news, regardless of which one it is, a 16D has 13.3 million. It's worth a little bit more than a 16S, even though the 16S only has 11.8 million minted. So if it had been in good 4 condition, it'd be a $10 to $15 nickel. Now we've Nick-A-Dated it, so that's destroyed a lot of the value. But even at 10 or 20% of the value, it's still a $2 or $3 nickel, and it would only been worth about 50 cents to $1 if I hadn't revealed the date. I'm going to go with 1916S, not a key date, at all. Not a semi-key date, but still a good find. First Buffalo in the box. For those wondering, I used what's called Nicodate. It's a date restore for just nickels. Don't use it on anything else. And obviously wear gloves when you use this. It is an acid. If you're interested in the product link, I do have one down below if you want to restore some dates on some of your old Buffaloes or old nickels. All right. Good find. Let's get back to this good box so far. We're on roll 16, guys, and I already took a peek. I thought it was going to be silver, and I was going to record it, but you know with nickels, you get so many off-color ones, you just sometimes are tired of having fails. But I pulled it up, and the first thing I saw when I did this was a Buffalo back. Look at that. And it is a variety too. Could have a mint mark as well. Could have a mint mark as well. Let me put it under the camera and we'll see if it has a mint mark really quick. And it does. It has a D mint mark on that one as well. And it is trashed. It's got some cool toning. Might be able to get a date on it. Maybe not. Maybe so. Let me wipe it down and see if I can get a date on that since we've got a D mint mark Buffalo nickel in the box. Well, unfortunately, I can't get a date. I've tried several different lighting angles and I think I could see stuff, but then I can't. But this thing is already trashed, as you can already see. So because there's a D mint mark and because I don't know for sure what the date is, let me go ahead and Nicodate it. I don't know if that's going to help with some of the damage on this coin, but it's definitely not going to hurt it because it's already damaged. Let me go ahead and do the Nicodate routine again and bring it back in if I see what it is. So I've been staring at this nickel for about 10 minutes, guys. I can't figure it out. I think from what I see, the damage is distorting it, but I think it's a 1915. That last digit looks like a 5. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It was throwing me off. It looked like a 9 for a little bit. Looked like a 13 for a little bit. I was really hoping for a 1913D, but I think that there's the bottom part of the top of the 5 that comes down to meet the arc. I think that's what I see right there. Then I thought it looked like a 1916. But that's the best shot I can get of this guy. And judging by what I see at all angles, I think it's a 1915 Denver. 1915. We know there's a D mint mark at the bottom right there in the middle. So I'm going to go with 1915D. And that's a good sign because we found a 1916S, I believe, and a 1915D. Now, 1915D nickel is not a bad find. If it was in G4 condition, 7.5 million minted, $20 nickel. We've Nicodated it, so it's probably more like a $2 or $4 nickel as well now, and it's really toasty. Thought about Nicodating the whole entire obverse and reverse of this coin to see if it looked better, but I don't think it will. It's pretty toasty. Still, 1915 Denver minted Buffalo nickel and likely a 1916 San Francisco minted Buffalo nickel in the box. Both needed Nicodate, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and we're only 16 rolls into the box. Roll 17, another 40s nickel. This one, a 1948 out of Denver. Next roll, roll number 18, another 40s nickel. 1941 out of Philly. We're finding a lot of finds in this box, so dare I say that we find a lot more? Roll number 21, and yet another 40s nickel. This one's a 1949 out of Denver this time. Roll 23. I got a little fooled on this one. The edge looked silvery, the front looked silvery, but it's just another 40s nickel. It's a 1941 out of Philly. Roll number 24. Got another 40s nickel. It's another 1941 out of Philly. And this chocolate colored one, I thought I saw that it was a little bit older as well by the strike. And it is. It's a 54D. We'll add that up here. The finds are piling up. Roll number 41 is going to give us a 41. 1941 out of Denver. Roll 43. Got another 40s nickel. A 1940 on the nose out of Denver. Well, as typical sometimes in nickels boxes, the second half of the box got cold. We finished the hunt. The good news is quite a few finds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 from the 50s. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10 from the 40s. We got a 1915 Denver minted Buffalo nickel we had a nicodate, and a 1916 S that we had a nicodate. I'll take them. 2 2009s to top it off. Pretty good box overall. Anytime you can get a couple of Buffaloes, you got to be happy. No silver and no 30s nickels that were Jefferson in the box though. Thought it was going to be a little bit better, but the last 20 rolls, we pretty much only got a handful of 40s nickels. Pretty tough. Still, I always take nickel boxes that produce a couple of Buffaloes, and I'm sure you would as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this one box nickel hunt today. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.